Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about, since we're gearing up for the X-Men 97 show to start on Disney+, we're going to talk about specifically the action figures, specifically the Marvel Legends 6-inch line. I'm not going to talk about the 4-inch line. I'm not going to talk about the Mondo line. I might make a couple of statements about it, but I think you kind of got my drift last time I mentioned the Mondo Rogue. But we're going to talk about specifically the mainline 6-inch Marvel Legends carded X-Men 97 line. So I guess the easiest way to do this is to just pull up. This is that action figure 411.com. They just got a nice. They put them all in order, and you can obviously pull them up pretty easily to look at them. So, and then this also, remember, the site's pretty good because it gives you the UPC number, which usually takes you. If you put that in Google, it'll usually take you to the Amazon page, most likely. Sometimes they put the Amazon page here, and then they'll give kind of the price, and then the lowest it's been found. And then they kind of give you an average, and then they'll give you some bunch of links to different people selling them, whether they're either on eBay. Most of these are usually eBay listings, and as you can see, the prices are all over the place. Just remember, be careful when you see stuff like that you don't not look at the shipping, because essentially that's still going to cost you more than it would retail. But the retail on those figures, just like all the rest of the Marvel Legends, for the most part, except for like the deluxes and stuff, is $24.99. Now, I probably talked about this in my modern action figures, and kind of why I'm kind of out right now is because, I thought when I started getting back into toy collecting in 2020, I thought to myself, $20, $19.99 for these Marvel Legends or X-Men Black Series, whatever you want to call that specifically, then eventually the G.I. Joe Classifieds. I said, that's just too much money. I mean, $20 seems to be a lot. I know when they marked up like the 3 3/4, 4-inch figures up to $9.99, I thought that was pretty crazy. But, after the Star Wars craze in 2015, for the Force Awakens, when they were charging, I think, $8.99 for the mainline, 3 3/4-inch Star Wars figures. I thought, that seems a little high. And then, of course, they bumped up to $10. And then most 3 3/4 action figures, for the most part now, are usually $11.99, $12.99. I find that very expensive. And I always thought the $20 price point for these 6-inch figures was high. But I guess that's what it was. And then when they started raising them, then they raised everything to $24.99. I said, I'm out. It's like, this is what I was collecting. Black Series. I was collecting G.I. Joe Classifieds. I was collecting Marvel Legends. And I just kind of, and then I stuck to, the McFarlane stuff, because he was still at $19.99. You get a 7-inch figure. And once he raised his price, I was out. $5 it makes or breaks it. When you essentially, for the same price, for $100, you used to be able to get 5 figures. That's still pricey, but now you're getting 4 figures. And obviously, to buy all 12 of these figures, you're looking at, $300. That's too much money. I'm sorry. It's just too much money to spend on these figures. And of course, this is just Wave 1 and 2. And if they do Wave 3, because they need Beast and Jubilee and other characters, I think Sunspot's they're going to be in the show. After they get another 6 figures in another wave, and then eventually they'll probably start doing villains. This adds up. At some point, when you're sitting there on 36 action figures, you're sitting on $900. So, of course, obviously, and this is kind of where I'm at now, is I've kind of nipped it in the bud as far as collecting action figures, but That's not to say I won't still pass up a deal. And playing clearance chicken seems to be kind of, hit or miss. Seems like some people are really lucking out with clearance. Some people, it's like once it never went to clearance, and once it's gone off the shelves, it's hard to find. Once it's gone off Amazon, and you can't even order it online, and it's just third-party collector prices at that point, that are twice as much as they were retail. Yeah, I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out at retail right now. I'm only in if I can find them for a clearance. Now, here's the thing. Remember, I like the ladies' figures. And I like lady characters. So I thought, hey, I'm just going to get... First I thought, hey, I'm just going to get the mainline X-Men. I'll get Gambit reluctantly. Rogue, Storm, Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Nightcrawler, right? I figure I'll just get the mainline X-Men. Maybe I'll get Magneto too, the villain. And then, of course, I would want Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen. So, okay, I figured I narrowed it down to that. It's like, it's still too expensive. And I thought, maybe I'm just going to get the chicks. I'll just get all the girls there, which are 4 of them. Jubilee's not out yet. She'll be out probably in the next wave, most likely. And that'll make 5. It's like $125. I'm just... and part of me is a little bit of a completist too. It's like, if I like the packaging on these, and here's the thing, I would probably purchase these and I would probably keep them in the package to display. Probably wouldn't take them out and pose them, put them on the desk or whatever. Maybe I would, I don't know. If they were cheaper, sure. But the one good thing about collecting female figures, though, is most of the time, with the exception of Rogue, most of the time the female figures peg warm. And when they peg warm, they go to clearance. And if they peg warm and go to clearance, they go to Ollie's. And if you go to Ollie's, you probably pick them up for $12.99. And in that case, if I can get Storm, because Storm's going to go on clearance. Storm always goes on clearance. All the way back to the Storm figure back in the 90s, that original Storm figure from Toy Biz. Yeah, I remember going into Toys R Us. They were redesigning Toys R Us at that time. They were going from like that old, stacked to the ceiling, Toys R Us shelves to like the more modern display. So I remember going there during construction and stuff, and going to an end cap. This is the one over by Lakeside Mall, which is gone now. Of course, well, they're all gone, but. And there was literally the entire end cap from top to bottom was just Storm. And I'm just like, really? And it was like dirt. This is back when those figures, I think, were $4.99 back in the 80s, back in the 90s. I think they were, I want to say like $1.99 for, you could get all the Storms you want. And of course, Storm seems to be always going on clearance. Now, Goblin Queen, I don't know. She seems to be kind of hard to find. The only ones I've seen in the store physically is I've seen the purple Magneto. I've seen, which is this figure here. I've seen the purple Magneto. I saw Cyclops, and I saw Jean Grey at my local Meijer. When I was on a grocery, I go once a week to Meijer to go grocery shopping, and the second time I went, all I could find was Jean, which I thought, should I pick her up at $24.99? And then I thought, well, she obviously nobody wants her because she's still there. And then when I went back this time, I don't think they got another case. I think somebody either returned it or maybe somebody hid it at one point. But they had this Magneto, which I don't want. I really don't want him. And they still had Jean Grey. So she, obviously she's sticking around. And I have a feeling that Jean is going to peg warm. Obviously, this same wave, the Goblin Queen was out, and she went quick. I didn't even see her. That case that was broken up there in Myers. Now, of course, this is one store in one podunk town, but I'm just saying it's probably indicative to how it is across the board. I haven't gone to Walmart or Target in a while. I don't think I've been there in months. And yeah, so and I haven't seen, and I didn't even see these when they first came out and hit the shelves for the Wave 1 with Storm and Rogue. Rogue never peg warms. Rogue always sells. Everybody loves Rogue. I have my reasons why I think everybody loves Rogue. I'll keep those to myself on YouTube. But anyways, I don't think Rogue's going to peg worm, and obviously I'll show you when I show you pricing and stuff and what's available online at the online retailers. You can see that she's definitely, I think her and Wolverine are the heavy hitters for this line. But so then I figured, let's go to Big Bad Toy Store. Now here they all are. Magneto's in stock. They're all $25.99. It's actually $1 more there. So, and then you got to pay $4 to get your loot dumped. So you're still spending more than retail. They got Rogue, of course. They have Storm. They have Wolverine on pre-order. So hopefully, I think they're getting new ones eventually, because the show's not even out yet. I'm hoping that this stuff should be pretty readily available, because obviously, when there's content available, meaning that there's a show, that's when Target, Walmart, places like Meijer, that's when they start ordering Marvel Legends. It seems like they really aren't ordering Marvel Legends anymore, much, if any, unless there's something behind it that can promote it. And this show, I've read mixed things. I see a lot of people are reviewing it now that they've seen sneak peeks of it, and I've heard nothing but good reviews from the reviewers. Now I don't know. I don't really know any of the reviewers like I can remember or that I saw that I know about. So, maybe they're just shilling, I don't know. But I got a good feeling that it's going to be a good show. And if it's a good show, I would assume the figures should be readily available. But of course, they'll be retail. If I see a Rogue at retail for $24.99, I'll probably spike the bullet and buy her. She's my favorite character in next to shoudl, of course, and Spider-Woman. But as far as the X-Men, she's definitely my favorite X-Men, hands down. So, yeah. And again, she's sold out here. But, I thought, well, let's go over to Amazon and see if there's any deals. Now, it looks like Amazon, because they didn't have Scott. I don't think they had. Couple of these weren't available. Now they've got most of them, but they're all $24.99. You obviously get the free shipping if you order over $35, or you got Amazon Prime. Looks like they have everybody for $24.99, with the exception of they want, it's third-party prices on Wolverine. It's third-party prices on Rogue. Sorry, so. It's pretty crazy that you can get the 6-inch VHS Storm from the original series for cheaper than that. I don't know, I find that kind of odd. I guess nobody's buying these now that these are out. I'm not a huge fan of this like extra cell shading stuff on there. I know it's supposed to look like the TV show. I think this is better. Just flat paint the area. You don't need no dry brushing. Make them nice opaque colors. Make the colors match the animation as much as possible, including skin tones and whatnot. And then let just natural lighting shade them. I think that's the way to go on these. So, again, I'm on the fence. If I start watching the show and I start getting the bug up my butt and I want to do it, maybe I will invest. I don't know. It's just, money's tight too right now. Money always gets tight periodically throughout the year. There's only a couple of times of the year that I kind of seem to be flush with cash, and in doing that, I'm trying to put some money away, and not be blowing money on all this stuff. But so again, even just toy collecting in general, I'm kind of tapping out right now just for economical, financial reasons to begin with, and I think a lot of people are probably feeling the pinch with inflation, and I don't know about their jobs or whatever, their income, but maybe they're unemployed, maybe they're still employed, but they haven't got a pay raise that, cost of living increase. They're, like myself, in business for themselves. I mean, you kind of dictate, but you have to dictate on market, and you can't overprice your services or your products just like them. But apparently they can. So when you got hot commodities, and you've got a lot of eager customers out there willing to open their wallets despite whatever they want to charge for them. I guess it's a win-win-win. I mean, why not price gouge as much as possible? People are willing to pay it. Like I said, I always tell people, you vote if you don't like the business practices or you don't like the prices, vote with your wallet. But every time you mention the word boycott, it's like, you've ran into a movie theater and you shouted fire. People seem to just come out of the woodwork to attack you whenever you mention boycott. Like, how dare you mention such an awful word, right? It's how you take the power back away from the powers that be, and you as the customer have the power because you open your wallet. If you don't open your wallet and pay for the thing, now you have the power. So I kind of try to tell people if they don't have problems with that, and for the most part, I'm practicing what I preach about 90%. Like I said, there's still a few things I kind of buckle on, but definitely across the board, my spending is down, I would say about 90% from what it used to be. As far as buying this type of stuff, I mean, like I said, I got into it in 2020 with the He-Man line. I was very excited, and as things started coming out, I just started pouring money out the, buying tons of stuff. Totally, I didn't really extend myself beyond my means, because I don't do credit. I only pay for things if I've got cash, and I've been doing that for the last 5 years, pretty regularly. So 6 years actually. So if I don't have the money, if I don't have the cash in hand, I don't buy it. But it definitely has limited my ability to save by spending a lot of my extra cash on this stuff. So now that prices are come up on inflation, things get tight. Business is always a when it rains it pours, and it's feast or famine. Business is slow, cash just dries right up. Business is great. Obviously, there's an abundance of cash. It's basic, obviously basic economics. So I would say, for me personally, though, even when the cash flows, let the spice flow. Once the cash flows, I'm still going to be as frugal as I can. If not, just totally tap out on all this stuff altogether. I mean, it's cool. I love it. I've also noticed that, prior to 2020, not really collecting much stuff, and then buying a ton of stuff, did it really fill that empty void in my soul? Kind of. I mean, I had some fun. Me and my son was really into it too. I got very excited. Now my son's 12, and he's like, Dad, I'm not going to be buying into that stuff anymore. He's on to music, and he's on to his things, his video games and stuff. So I kind of lost the thrill of the hunt to going to not having a vehicle and not being able to get to the store on a regular basis. Also put a big kibosh into my the thrill of the hunt. So now I'm basically left to whenever I get to the store, and if I see something online. And I gotta say, frankly, buying stuff online is not that much. We're pre-ordering stuff on Big Bad Toys. Sorry, I'll pull me up here. Just pre-ordering everything on Big Bad Toys, and then just waiting for it to fill into your loot pile and then ship it out. At that point, it just becomes a transaction, and it kind of loses its charm. You know, and you get a box. Let's say I'm going to keep everything in my loot box, and I'm going to ship 4 times a year. You know, every 3 months I'll ship whatever's in my loot box. You know, and at that point you're just picking the stuff up. You know, or it's like it comes, okay. It's like, am I open the box, I put them out, look at them, cool. Am I going to open them? Maybe, I don't know. You know, some stuff obviously I opened and put in the glass case, and you know, some stuff I left in the package, and it's just like, it adds, again, just like everything, you know, you have a finite amount of space, and to fill every nook and cranny of your abode with plastic people gets kind of silly after a while. Me saying that, somebody who, you know, has not every nook and cranny, but almost every nook and cranny, there's plastic people, you know. But maybe it's burnout too. Maybe, I mean, 5 years of, you know, 5 years, yeah, almost 5 years of pretty avid collecting, kind of burned me out. Like I said, I was really wanting to get back into it, and I'm spending a significant amount of time in it. It's kind of in my, like I said, my, I think the 2023, I seemed to hold it pretty well together and didn't spend a lot. 2020, last year, I think I spent more than I wanted to. And I bought a couple of lines. Like, I started doing the Playmates Ninja Turtle line. I started doing the Real Ghostbusters line because I found those all super cheap. Even if they are super cheap, it's still, I mean, it adds up. So, kind of spent more than I wanted to spend. Like I said, He-Man's done for now until they come out with the 3 missing things that I want. Other than that, like I said, I don't think I'm ever going to get going on G.I. Joe until they do something. And like I said, G.I. Joe's in the same boat. I mean, I think that the carded G.I. Joe 6-inch classifieds look cool as hell, especially on the cards. But they're in the same boat as these, $25 a piece. I don't want to spend $25 an action figure. You know, I mean, it just seems insane to spend that. You know, I mean, I remember people used to talk back in the 80s, like, well, you know, those action figures and stuff, those are really expensive. And I guess for the time they sort of were, but it didn't seem super crazy. I mean, you could scrounge up $3 in pop bottles pretty easily and go buy yourself a G.I. Joe guy. That didn't seem very hard to do. You know, let's say, even if they had a, you know, nobody really did 12-inch figures, or 6-inch figures back then, but I guess the closest thing we had to 6-inch figures was probably He-Man or Thundercats or Silverhawks or something around that line. And they were like $4.99. You know, like I said, I mean, a couple of dollars, save a couple of lunch monies from school and grab a few pop bottles, and, you know, you got yourself an action figure. Now today, in order to buy a $25 figure, that's a lot more than saving your lunch money and scrounging for some pop bottles. That's a lot of pop bottles, because the pop bottles still only 10 cents a piece. So, you know, let's say you spent, here's the thing though, your lunch money today, I mean, if you're in school, I don't know what the lunches cost. My son said like $2.50 or something. But, you know, let's say you're going to go out to eat to McDonald's, right? Get yourself a Big Mac meal. Freaking Big Mac meals are almost $15 a piece for a Big Mac meal. So I guess maybe if you don't eat your Big Mac that day and your fries and your pop, you know, and take back a bunch of pop bottles, maybe you've got enough to buy a $25 figure. It's insane. I mean, I know I'm old man shouting at the clouds, but I mean, sorry, I'm just going to keep, I don't want to keep just telling you how much I don't like the prices of things. But, so with these figures, I guess, in conclusion, sorry, this will be a short video, but in conclusion, I think I've got high hopes for the show. Do I need the action figures? No. Like them. I'd like to have them, but I don't need them. I don't have a burning desire to get them. I have just a general interest in wanting to get them. you know, there's only 12 out now. Like, again, I'm probably down to just getting the girls, Rogue, Storm, Goblin Queen, and Jean, and then I'll get Jubilee when she comes out, and then whoever they make after that. As far as villains, or maybe other X-Men, I don't know if any other X-Men are going to show up. I'm assuming the first 10 episodes is just this core crew. I don't know who this Executioner guy is. You know, tell me in the comments if you know who that guy is. I mean, I know who Bishop is. I was never a big... Bishop came out after I kind of was out on the stuff. And I know he was a big character even in the original X-Men animated series. I didn't like... Here's the thing, I'm gonna be a contrarian again. I really didn't like... Sorry, the Days of Future Past story arc. I just didn't like it. Nothing about it I liked. Old Kitty Pryde. I don't want to see old Kitty Pryde. You know, and it's just like, it was written well, it was interesting. People really loved the Days of Future Past. I really didn't like Days of Future Past. I like the Phoenix Saga. I like the Dark Phoenix Saga. I like most of the other story arcs. I'm just not a big fan of the Days of Future Past. And then when they started doing, like, Cable comes along, and Cable is Scott Summers, Jean Grey's son, you know, I don't know. I forgot even that Starjammer's, what's his face? Star-Lord. No, what the hell's his name? The main guy, the Corsair. I forgot he's Scott Summers' dad. I forgot about that until I was watching the animated series. The Phoenix Saga. Which, by the way, I did go back and I watched all of the Phoenix Saga and all of the Dark Phoenix Saga. And I gotta say that they really did a good job in handling those the storylines in that cartoon. Again, I would rather have had Kitty Pryde there, sure. Just certain things like that. But I think that they handled it pretty decently. You know, and it was kind of nice seeing that. So I had never sat there and watched all of those episodes before back to back like that, and I really thought that was pretty enjoyable. So, which got me geeked up for the new show. So we'll see how it happens when it comes, and see what. And see if it really delivers or it's a letdown. I'm skeptical. I'm less skeptical now because people are telling me it's good. So hopefully it is. I mean, so looking at the action figures, like I said, I love the fact Storm's got the mohawk. You know, I love the fact that they're honoring the old. Even if I wasn't a huge animated series fan, at least they're honoring the look of those characters pretty closely. So, we'll see what happens. As far as the action figures, again, I'm going to play clearance chicken and hopefully pay off. You know, if I can find Rogue at retail, I'll probably buy her at retail, and then if I can find Storm, Jean, Goblin Queen at Ollie's or on discount, maybe I'll go from there. I don't know what my threshold will be. I mean, Ollie's $12.99 is a great price. I'll definitely buy them then. You know, even if they're on Amazon for $20, maybe. Less than 20 would be nice, like $15.99. That's what I got my Rogue, my Down Under Rogue from. She was the last. I think she was the last. Was this the last one I got, or was it Scarlet Witch? And again, those are just sitting out in the box. I don't even have those even on display. So again, you know, I guess when you get something new, you put it out on display and you enjoy it until you get sick of it, until you get something else and put the other stuff away. But I think we're going to hold on to the money for now and just see how everything plays itself out. If I shoot myself in the foot and I can't see. Here's the thing. If it's a popular show, they'll probably be readily available. If it's an unpopular show, then they're not only going to be readily available, they're also going to go to clearance. So... And I also think if they order too many of them, because the show's popular, some of them are going to go on clearance. So I think it's a win-win. I think it's a pretty good bet that you're going to win that game of clearance chicken if you know, which is how everything, the trends and how things, people's purchasing behavior seem to be in retail. So, anyways, I know it's a short video, but remember, like and subscribe. You got what are your thoughts on these? Are you going to pick them? Have you already picked them up? Are you looking forward to the show? You know, are you hemming and hawing like I am? Let me know. Even if you just want to, bark at me for being who I am, that's fine too. Bark at me only one, I don't care. But anyways, I will catch you on the next one, and see you soon. All right, bye-bye.